I'm Alicia. I'm a mother. I'm a black woman. I'm intelligent. I love to travel. I'm beautiful, and I speak my truth. You are listening to the Speak Your Truth podcast series. Happy Tuesday, everyone. We are back for another episode of the Speak Your Truth podcast. Do you know our last episode got almost 100 streams? Cracking, like, wow. Plenty people was saying, like, oh, that's crazy. Y'all did a good job. It was lit. Y'all had fun. So if you did not listen to the last episode about polygamy and side chicks, side pieces, please go and listen to it. That was one of it surpassed the therapy episode, and it's like the most played episode. But today, hey brother, hey Andre, hey Auntie Sheila. So today we are talking about relationships again. So one of my homegirls, Renia, she asked me to cover the topic, and I was actually covering the topic. So we're talking about being in a gray area. So it's that area where you may be in a relationship, or you may be not, or you broke up, or maybe you not broke up, or being in a situationship is a whole great. That's just great. Right. That's just great. And what inspired the topic? So I needed some advice like 2 nights ago. So Courtney was up at like 3:00 in the morning, and there was a guy that I was dating, and he lied to me about something that was kind of petty. But we've only been dating for 3 months. And I'm like, now we're in a gray area, because I'm like, should I look past these red flags, or should I kind of, write it off, take it is for what it is? And it's like, okay, we only 3 months. I didn't know. So now I'm in a gray area, and I was asking Courtney what I should do, because now I'm confused. Like, am I able to talk to other men? Like, what? I don't understand. So that's the crux of the topic today. So what should I do? I don't know.
With the gray area, like I said, it always get tricky, because you don't know whether it's going to be worth it or not. I think we all ask ourselves that question. Like, is this really going to be worth it if I look past it, or if we get past this?
Right.
Or even if it's something you've done, is this really going to be worth it? And I think you have to evaluate the pros and the cons. Like a lot of people say, go back and forth and see what was going well, what might have wasn't. See if you guys can compromise. A lot of time I try to compromise before just quitting, because I used to be a quitter. I would move on fat. You can't do X, Y, Z. Okay.
We like the same. Are you a Gemini?
I'm a Cancer, so I'm right behind y'all. So I would just quit and just move on to the next person, and that would be it. But then I kept finding myself, I was a single friend like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then worked it out, and I'm sitting third wheeling, or people, different things like that. So I remember definitely giving you the advice of just seeing, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Is it something you could look past? Is it something y'all could talk about openly and freely? How would that conversation go between you two? Because I think a lot of the times we look to our friends for advice, and they're not in the situation versus talking to our actual person that we're dealing with.
Exactly. Yeah, and one of the things that I've learned as I've gotten older is that I've stopped asking friends for advice unless I really need it. So I came to you, you know what I mean? So I'm reversing all the way back. So I had a friend, and she was dating this guy, and he was a freaking maniac, right? And she would come to me and vent to me about him and ask for me advice about him, but then she would just continue going back. So then it got to the point where I was like, okay, stop telling me about him, because now I'm hating him, and you going back, you're not letting it be a gray area. But for me, like you said, so I have been taking it and thinking about it, and I'm like, the pros do outweigh the cons, but I'm like, this is a big con. This person kind of lied about something really, really petty. So then I'm like, if you can lie about something petty, then you can lie about something major. So y'all help me out. Facebook Live. I don't know what to do. LaShandria, hey girl, you just joined. I've been dating a guy for 3 months. He lied about something super petty. and I don't know what to do. And then I asked one of my guy friends, and he's like, well, if it's petty, let that shit go. But I'm like, oh.
But then that goes back to when we were talking about before of the signs you ignore in the beginning.
Exactly.
That make you leave in the end.
I hear a Iyanla in my head saying, don't ignore the red flags. And that's a red flag for me, because when we started dating, I was very forthcoming. I'm like, hey, look, I did this in my past. I'm not with my son's father. This and this and that. Like, I was just I put everything on the table. And it's like, it's only been 3 months. So I'm like, am I being too harsh? Like, so that the gray area leaves a lot of confusion. It leaves a lot of confusion. So that's where I am now. And I really want to get back to the pink area, because
the happy place.
Right, the happy place. Because no man, I can say, no man ever that I've ever dated has made me feel as special and as happy and as wanted, not in a not sexual way. I've never had that before. Any man that I've ever dated, it's always been sexual. Hey, Tanetta, girl. So if you're just joining us on the Facebook Live, we're talking about being in a gray area. So right now, my dilemma is I was dating a guy for about 3 months. He lied about something petty, and we're kind of in this gray area. And you, as women, hey, Katrina, would you ignore the red flags, or would you believe the red flag and kind of get yourself out of the gray area and break it off? So being in the gray area is tough, because you at a standstill. You got 1 foot in the door and 1 foot back. So Rania said her male friend gave her advice that she lives by now. A man will only do to you what you allow. And now she's very black and white. She hates gray area, so she's biased, and she carries that with her. Ooh, I like that, So Rania, what advice would you give to me? So this is someone that made me feel very special. A lot of the pros outweighed the cons, but it's like that character flaw that I can't get over. And it's like, I want to get back to the black and white, and I'm really unsure what to do. Trina says she's too old to be in the gray area. So no, girl, you only like 32. Like, that's not old.
And I think the gray area, let me define it a little bit more as to what we're talking about, is when you go from that friendship and building and getting to know each other right before the relationship. So I think we all experience the gray area. Sometimes it's longer than others. Like, people that have been in situationships since forever. And it's like, okay, when y'all gray area go in, what you doing, son? So that area is always tricky.
It is. It definitely, and I can say we're all millennials on this live, and I say that we don't like to date. Like, we scared. Everybody is so scared of getting played that we will allow ourselves to be in a gray area just for the sake of not getting played. But then, I read your post, your blog today, and it was simply amazing, where you were saying, okay, you tired of this person, he won't take you out, and it's like, well, you letting them stay on your couch, or he's not doing this, and it's like, I get it, you only, they do what you let them allow, but I'm like, I don't know, because I'm like, it's only been 3 months, and I'm like, I'm really confused in my womanhood, and I hear Iyanla Vanzant yelling at me. But right. But then again, I'm like, it's only kind of been 3 months. Rania said, if I accept the petty lie, now what stops it from being more? Is this character or just a slip up early in the game? What are you willing to allow? That's a great question. And Trina said, you teach people how to treat you. Hey, Hope. So, Rania, based on the situation, I would definitely say that it was a petty lie. And, okay, well, I guess it's speak your truth. I got to tell the truth. So,
say it with details.
Right, details. So this person that I was talking to, we were very open with each other about we're just dating, so we still have the option to not put our eggs in one basket. So, you know, we were able to talk to other people. However, there was this one specific person that he told me that he was not talking to anymore, and it turned out to be a lie. And he's like, well, I was really afraid to tell you. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't you just be honest with me? He's like, I was just afraid to tell you, like, I'm so sorry. So I'm just like, the whole gray area with being brand new in a relationship is kind of confusing. So it's like, I honestly don't know what my intuition is telling me, because this is the first time I've dated someone in 4 years. So I have no clue what to do. And it's like, y'all know I love being single. I'm happy being single. But I'm wondering, am I judging something too harshly? Because it's only been 3 months, and it's not like I haven't, you know, been talking to other guys or experienced, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Hey, Evelyn. Hey, TT Mo. Trina, yeah, she said, Trina said, always trust your intuition and go with your gut. And I'm like, I don't know what my gut.
What do you do when your gut doesn't tell you anything?
Yeah, what if my gut telling me that I'm hungry? Like,
because I think that definitely happens where you want to go with your gut, but it's like, okay, is my gut telling me to stick it out, or is my gut telling me to leave?
And I've been praying. Like, I'm a spiritual person, so I don't know if any of you are spiritual. And I've been praying a lot. I've been fasting, and it's taking some time. Like, it's definitely taking some time. Trina put the shaking my head emoji. I'm like, my intuition could be telling me I'm hungry. I don't know. So, have any of you ever been in a gray area, and what was that like? So I'll wait for you guys to give me some advice, but I'll tell you, I was in a situationship for like 3 years with one person, and that was just gray. Like, I allowed it to be a gray area.
I know for a fact right now I'm in a gray area.
Oh Lord.
So this is my current situation. I'm definitely living this truth right now. But we were discussing before the podcast, and I was just telling Alicia about how I felt I always jumped into things too fast. I always gave my all at the beginning. Like, I'm such a lover girl. I want love. I'm willing to give it all. And I didn't get to truly get to know people. Mm-hmm. So I would oftentimes get played or be like, oh. Yeah. And everybody like, well, you gave too much in the beginning. You should have took it slow. You should have did this and this and that. So I feel like for the first time, I'm kind of taking that slow route and getting to know a person through all their seasons. Because, of course, I feel like when you first start dating, it's always the honeymoon phase. The 3-4 months are just like, oh my God.
Yes, and I get bored after that 2 months. Yes.
But then when the finances come up, or something go down, or a family issue, or an ex, or kids involved, things get to trickling a little different, and people real emotions, everything get to coming out, and you get to see a person truly through their season. And I feel like at least like a year and a half, you get to truly like know a person through their ups and their downs.
Yeah.
Because they go through different things. So I feel like that's where I'm at right now. And I'm still...
Y'all know I'm blind.
Exclusively dating, so...
You have to be careful about being able to discern the difference between a gut feeling and anxiety from a past relationship.
Yes.
It can feel the same, but at the same time, it never has a foundation. Evelyn, girl, that's some great advice. And then I have been hurt in the past, and I was just saying that, like, a lot of, especially women, like a lot of millennials, like, we have baggage from past relationships, but I've gone to therapy, I've gone to church, I've dated myself, and it's like I do know what I want. I definitely know what I want, and it's like that whole intuition and anxiety, it does still come up sometimes. So that's definitely very, very true. I love that. That's a great point. So, like, back to you being in this situationship. How does that work? Like, are you allowed to get jealous if you talk to other women? Like, how is this working out for you? I want to know. I'm a scoop back.
I think kind of what Renee said before. I became so black and white from my last relationship because I feel like too many gray areas leave room for hurt or leave room for misunderstanding. So I asked them off top, are we exclusively dating at this point? Is it okay if you talk to other people? I put the shoe on both foot because I feel like a lot of the times I'll be like, well, you can't date, but I could do X, Y, and Z because it's me. So we definitely sat down and had that conversation. It was just like, okay, it's just gonna be us. We've gotten to the point where we really see this going somewhere, and now it's just literally us together. So
yeah. So Katrina said, I was in a similar situation. He told me him and his ex broke up. They didn't deal with each other. We was rocking for like a year, and out of nowhere he got back with her and got my feelings hurt. So y'all got to be on the same page. You can't be mad if y'all agree just to date, which is what one of my brothers said. Mm-hmm. And he said, if you're ready to be exclusive, you got to tell him. And Trina talks about this in her book, Fly Girl with Fibro. So go to Amazon, check out her book, and she talks about all of that. Thank you for the advice. So somebody else said that to me, where it's like, y'all only been talking for 3 months. Like, y'all, like, you don't even know what y'all doing yet. So somebody else did tell me that. And I think one of the things is why I hated asking for advice is sometimes when you get too much advice, it clouds your own judgment, and you don't know what to do. And then it becomes other people going through you, and it impairs your autonomy to make a decision. So but I'm like, I kind of do need advice, because one, y'all know I'm always forthcoming about whatever it is I'm going through. This is Speak Your Truth podcast, but like I'm not afraid or ashamed to say that I need help. This is the first time I've tried to date someone. Hey Josh, Renia said communication is key. I'm learning that. I'm definitely learning.
Yeah. And the way you communicate. Because I think you could tell somebody, but the way you say it. And I just did this earlier today. We got into an argument. And
the gray area guy?
I off top was pop off shorty. Like, what? You know what? And I hung up the phone.
Oh, no.
And lately I've been learning that, because before, I spit fire. My tongue would be slick, sharp. Yeah. And I've tried to come out of that. And now I've gotten to a point where, okay, I'm hanging up the phone, and he like, no, we need to talk through this. Like, if you can't talk to me, then what we got?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the times, even things that a person will say to you, he would say certain stuff a certain way, and I feel a certain way. But to him, it was just like, I was just saying it.
So why are y'all? Why haven't you moved out of the gray area?
Because I think we're still getting to know each other.
Okay.
Truly get to know each other. We both have kids. He was married before.
Yeah.
I've never been married.
Okay.
I ain't even got to the point of engaged, because I was moving like, what? Okay, I'm out of here. Zip, pulling off. So I think just preparing myself for that, because now I'm dating with a purpose. I feel like before I was just dating. Just doing
I
whatever.
wasn't even doing that. I was just having sex.
So dating with a purpose, I think that I truly am like trying to find, like, is this really worth it? If I'm going to spend the rest of my life with a person, is it worth getting to know them a couple years? Starting an exclusive date for a couple years, things like that.
Trina says situationships are BS. You rock like a couple, catch feelings, sex, etc., but not official. Situationships will keep you in a gray area. You have to have boundaries so you don't get your feelings hurt. Trina, yes. When I tell you I was in a situationship for 3 years with a person, do you know how hard it was for me to break that situationship off? Because whenever something went wrong with somebody else, he was always right there. And it was like that. It was like, we go out to eat, we go to movies, we go to Chicago together. He's done things for me financially, and it's like, it's just a situationship, and I had to play it cool, like I wasn't salty that I knew he was talking to other people. Evelyn said, so for me and my situation, we made it to a point to make sure we were on the same page as far as dating. After a few dates, we made it clear that we are exclusively dating each other. I know what I wanted, and I said it up front, and he respected me for that. And ladies, listen to what the hell he is saying and not what you want to hear. At almost 40, I heard what I wanted and got myself hurt, and it was my own fault. Wow, that's deep. That's definitely deep. Wow. That's really deep. And on that note, we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back. Are you still on the fence about creating your own podcast? Listen, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. It's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your very own podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so many more. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Okay, you all, we are back and we are on our Facebook Live. And if you're on the live, we are talking about being in the gray area. And so far, we had a lot of lovely ladies commenting. And we're back to Katrina, who said you can't maneuver like a couple if you're in a gray area. You have to keep it simple and don't give the benefits of a girlfriend if he's not your man. So Courtney and I, we confused as fuck. We like, what? What does that mean?
Details, please tell me more.
Tell us, T, sis. Like, we don't know. So if you don't know, or if you have not listened to my other episodes of the podcast, which you should have, in my therapy episode, I do have a fear of commitment. I'm afraid to be in a relationship. I just decided, like, I want to start dating. I know exactly what I want. I'm clear on my intentions. You know, I've gone to therapy, handled my baggage, but I'm still scared. So then when you say these things, like, I need to learn how to date. You know what I mean? And take it slow. And I think by taking it slow, it leaves me in a gray area, but then apparently the gray area is bad. So I'm just trying to figure out how to maneuver through this.
Right.
Evelyn said, we as women don't want to say what we want. We beat around the bush, and then when they throw those key phrases, then we get salty.
Yes.
Listen, I have history, baby. I was married for 9 years and divorced, was in another relationship for 70 years, and he passed away. Oh, my God, I'm so sorry. Through all of that, I learned to listen to myself and listen to what they're saying, and I believe them. Oh, my God, Evelyn, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So with either of those relationships, were you in a gray area at all with those? Like feeling confused about
Tyra.
your standing? Hey, girl. Trina said, if y'all just dating, just let it be that. Let him take you out, get to know him. No Netflix and chill, no sex, because that get complicated. Yes, okay, so I do agree with that. So when the guy that I was dating, like, we agreed to be celibate, ain't no coming over, like, ain't no none of that. Like, one of our first dates, he invited me to go to church, so I went to church. And I'm not finna pay that Netflix bill, so ain't no I'm not paying $13. So Tyra, you just joined us. We're talking about being in a gray area. Have you ever been in a relationship and you don't know your standing, or a situationship, which is just a complete gray area? And give some advice to the other ladies. And, you know, we all are Black, beautiful women. We should definitely support and uplift each other, give each other support and advice. So you all are helping me out, because I feel like I'm in a gray area right now and I don't know what to do. But the situationships, you get comfortable.
Yeah.
So I got comfortable in my situationship. It was convenient. I didn't have to see him all the time, and I felt like it was kind of a relationship, but not really, because it's like I didn't really have to cater to him, care about his feelings, none of that. We just hung out every now and again. We were very open with each other about, you know, our past, our families, all of that stuff. But again, I said he was just crossing the line. Trina said, if you start catching feelings, you got to fall back if y'all not on the same page. Don't let yourself keep falling and he's not there to catch you. And Trina, that's exactly what happened to me in the situationship. And the reason, and I was cool for the first year and a half, and it's like I was keeping it strictly situational, like, but he started crossing lines. Like, I think deep down, I knew he really liked me or whatever. His actions showed it, but I'm like, something that he just wasn't ready to cross that line or whatever. So I'm like, okay, if you still want to be single, it's cool. Like, that's the agreement that we had. But then he would start, whenever he got drunk, he like professed his love for me on another level. Like, he was one of those. He was one of those. So then he started sending mixed signals. So then eventually I ended up falling, got myself hurt and said I'm done fucking with him, but then I would call back and he would just always welcome me with open arms. But I literally, as soon as I told him, I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. I want to start dating for a purpose. Like, I got a life and a son to think about. He acted like he wasn't salty, but he called. He called and tried to get me to hang out. And I said, nope, nope. And yeah, he was kind of salty. I was actually proud of myself. Trina said, me too, twice. Evelyn said, hell yeah. And that's when the divorce came into play. I got tired. We have 4 children together, 2 of which are adults, and I had enough. The next relationship, when it hit around 6 years, I was like, look here, fam, what the fuck are we doing? Okay. And where are we going? And unfortunately, he passed, but we were at a point where I felt like it's either this or that. I'm getting old, and I won't be nobody's old lady. Damn that. My name ain't Miss Shirley. Okay.
Shirley, this is Barbara. You may not know who I am, but I found your old man's number when I was going through his pockets. Okay? Nobody wants to be
woman.
Barbara and Shirley. And I think that's another reason why we so scared. With millennials, it's so much going on. You find so many people, like, even the Facebook blasting where you see the happy couples and they get engaged.
She fucking somebody,
tomorrow,
or he is.
He got a post up here and the girl airing him out the screenshots, and it's just so much.
You scared.
Yes.
But then one of the things my therapist told me is that you can't be scared of things you can't control.
True.
And being hurt is inevitable, and it's unfortunate. You just have to... You have to be... One of the things that I learned with dating is that you got to be super observant, which is something I never did. It was 2 months. I smashed. I dashed. It was cool. I never took the time to get to know someone.
Yes.
So it's like, he was like, you got to get to know that. He's like, you want to see what they like when they're hungry, when they lose their keys, when they lose their phone charger. He was my therapist. Yes. He said, you need to be there for all of that. See how he is with his family, with his kid, with your kids. And I'm like, I ain't letting nobody meet my kid, but I got his point. So I'm doing that. And he was like, how does he make you feel? What does his actions say? But I'm like, actions are cool, but I'm like, your character, I think, supersedes your actions. Yeah. And I'm like, if you gotta really...
Character is almost lifelong.
Yeah.
You develop that into that person. Yeah.
And I'm like, if you kind of got a flawed character, which I did have, because it's like, I'm a Gemini, so I'm kind of flaky by nature. But I'm like...
My gray area dude is a Gemini. So.
He's a Gemini?
Yes. Wring his neck every other day.
So Geminis are kind of flaky by nature, and it's not... It may
not even be intentional.
And
sometimes it's just like, and y'all don't see nothing wrong with it.
No, because... Wait. let me defend this. Wow. We get bored quick. Like, if you can't keep our attention intellectually, we finna move right. Like, you done, cuz like, I'm, and I know me as a Gemini, I always people always tell me, you playing the fence, or you never take a side or make a decision. And it's like, I try to look at both points of view before I just come out and make a hard decision. So that's why I'm kind of in this gray area, like, right now. So that's why I need your advice. Trina said, don't let these niggas get all the benefits with no commitment. We not designed for situationship. Women are emotional by nature. And Trina, we are, but I've over that last 3 years, I've prided myself on being non-emotional. But when he started crossing lines, then the emotions started kicking back in. He started playing on my emotions.
Evelyn said, I had to do some work on me, and when I started dating again, I was like, no ass over here. I'm discovering different people, and I'm not yours exclusively. So if you see me out with somebody, know your place. Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Yeah. Now, if you figure I'm out, if you figure out I'm the one you want, hell, come to me and claim your stake. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Yeah. Until then, I'm doing me and you can do you. We as women aren't taught to think like that. It takes maturity. Yeah. Now, I didn't say don't be out there bending over for everybody, but what you're saying is stand on what you mean.
Yeah, bending it over. And ladies, like, withhold the poom poom. Like,
but you know what? Sometimes, okay, let me talk about this. Because in my gray area,
oh Lord,
we are definitely sexually active. And it's more so me.
You?
Like, it's not him.
Really?
And we've had this conversation before. Because I tried to, we got into an argument. And I went for the gut buster, like, well, you only in it for the sex? And he was like, that was all you. Asking where I was at. Come do this, that. So I think sometimes we have to learn to control ourselves sexually. Because I feel like a lot of people always think, oh, men only want sex. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
There's some women out here, myself included, who, you know, we have high sex drives and, you know, different things like that. And those needs have to be met. And we talked about on last episode, a toy can't do everything.
It cannot.
So
it'll do it for that 20 seconds.
So the batteries get low and it ain't functioning the same.
I was salty one time. The battery died out on my vibrator. I was pissed because it wasn't. It was vibrating quick, and then it was like. I was like, oh my god! Then
I definitely had that.
I had to tiptoe to the kitchen.
Get that drawer.
Charge it up for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, man, just fuck it. Like, you try to like.
You don't even want to do it at that point. Like, oh, I'm over.
Either your kids sleep or you at home by yourself, and you try to get it in real quick.
That's definitely true.
Evelyn,
for sure.
I'm a Pisces Aries cusp, so I can be very emotional and passionate, but at the same time, I can cut you to the core, and that assertiveness is what either draws them or runs them away. Either way, control yourself. Go into it like you do in an interview if you understand the concept. I do understand that concept.
I do too.
One of the things I had to work on was being assertive. I was a straight pussy. Like, I wasn't being I hated being assertive. I to this day, I don't like confrontation at all.
That's me.
She said we wild.
Hey, look, it's Speak Your Truth podcast, and we out here talking our shit.
Right. I still work on being assertive. Like, the white folks at work be trying me, and it's like, per my email, like, you know, so definitely being assertive is something that we have to learn how to do.
Yes, I totally agree with that.
Saying it with our chest. We not wild.
We're just speaking our truth.
We just speaking our truth. But I do want to learn to be more black and white and be more logical instead of thinking with my emotions. So.
Yes.
I'll keep y'all posted, even though I don't really post my personal business on Facebook. So if I pop up with a man, you know.
No, that's him.
Right. What if it don't be, though? Like, it could be a whole new nigga. Trina said, I think part of the issue is many of us haven't seen what healthy relationships look like. It's hard to do something you don't know how to do. So, did you grow up with your parents?
No. Mom was a single mom. And she dated. My mama really kept her dating life secret from us. It was so weird. Like, nobody got to meet us. My mom was super, like.
That's good though, right?
I think yes and no, because it was like my mama was always doing everything. Like, I didn't really get to see, besides my grandfather, the male figure of like taking on the manly roles. And I think that's now even tying into the guy I talk to now. I was talking to somebody previously. My ex was in my age range, I would say. He was a year older than me. So now I'm dating a guy who's 10 years older than me. And he's so like assertive to where I couldn't tell the difference between assertive and controlling. And I'm like, oh, nope, he controlling, I'm out of here. Right. I can't do this. And I began to talk with other men, asking them, you know, like, what kind of characteristics is this? My brothers and different things like that. And my brother was like, no, he's assertive. He knows what he wants. He's a grown man. But I wasn't used to seeing that. Yeah. My dad was in and out doing whatever he wanted to do, Lord knows what. But I definitely think that played a part in it, because I didn't see that. Wow. So then when I got involved with somebody, like the person I dated last, who was my age, totally the opposite of not being assertive. I got to do whatever I want. We ain't doing this night, we going here. Like, I was the controlling one. So then when the roles switched into what it should have been at first, I was like, do I want to do this? What is this? He controlling me. He doing that. And my brother like, no, he know what he wanted. You was out of order, and he putting you in your place. And I was like, okay, I'll take that. But
Trina said, we all just figuring out as we go, but be honest about what you want, create boundaries, and stand on it. How do you create the boundaries? So, like, this is I'm someone, I had no boundaries. I had no inhibitions. Like, I had nothing. So, like, teach me.
I think a lot of times we create boundaries too late. when you get tired of something, then you ready to say whether then it's this or it's that. Versus at the very beginning when it's like, okay, this is it or this is it.
That was
because that's me. I would wait so late until I was at the cutthroat end. Then I'm still giving you an option. Like it's either this or it's either that.
We the same.
So
we the same. But apparently cancers are more emotional. Are you emotional?
Yes.
Are you really? You stubborn too, ain't you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, my sister's birthday is July 14th. She is stubborn. Oh my God, I just be wanting to slap her in her fucking head. She don't listen. And it's like, we don't be telling her wrong. It's like, ooh, stubborn ass. Yeah, Gemini. Apparently I talk too much. I probably do. I think I do.
Really? I guess because I can hold the convo back. But I think it's a difference between talking too much just to talk and having actual content to your conversations.
I do have the content. You know what? People attack Geminis. I be feeling really fucking attacked. And people, Gemini, and the only thing they be like, y'all crazy. I'm like, okay, how though? Like, how y'all like, but how y'all like keeping our name in y'all mouth? How's we the most lit zodiac sign ever?
It's definitely crazy.
So Evelyn said, creating boundaries is saying what you want and don't bend. See, I got to be there in person to drop some of my Generation X knowledge. Yes, Evelyn, where the hell are your ass is supposed to be on this couch? I invited you. Bring your ass and bring some wine. We need some wine. And I appreciate women like Evelyn because she is such a big ball of joy and so supportive. Like Evelyn has been more supportive than like some of the women in my family, honestly. And it's like Evelyn is a fabulous almost 40. She don't look 40, and it's like she's always helping young sisters out. So like I always appreciate Evelyn's advice. Katrina too. Katrina's 34, and it's like she's always helping out. She says she all Smirnoff tonight. We drink that. Come over.
And she definitely I definitely like about Evelyn is she's giving examples. So many people will tell you what to do, but can't relate it back to them personal lives or tell you like, hey, I went through the same thing. And I think us as black women, a lot of times we have that approach with other black women. Like, hey, you doing this? I've been there before. This is how I got through with X, Y, and Z versus you doing wrong. She gonna look stupid in the end. This was gonna happen. He ain't shit. Like
some people just not mature to share, to speak their truth, share their business. And it's like I've gotten past that point where it's like I'm not ashamed of nothing. So like any man, I mean after this one, but like any man that I'm going to date, I tell them I'm like, hey, this is my past. I've done this. This is what I'm looking for. Like one of my boundaries though, what I'm really thinking about is like, I can't stand thieves and liars. And my son is getting ready to make a grand entrance. KJ, what do you need? No. Yeah, if you be quiet, you can. Okay. Come lay down and don't say not a word. See, as you can see, being a single mother, my son
gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah, we gotta roll with the punches. So he promised if he lay down on this couch and be quiet, he could stay in here.
As he turns to both of us, like, what y'all in here talking about? I need to know.
He get on my nerves, y'all. Hey, Jazzy. Hey, Dwight. Trina, she said, I was 29, 30 when I had my first situationships. Ow, your elbow is pointy. When she had her first situationships. Hey, Jazz. Evelyn said, had to take the car back to the shop. I'm dyeing my hair, going back red. Okay, girl. All right. I thought your hair was red already. So Monica, for those of you who have just joined us, have any of you ever been in a gray area in a relationship? So whether you're breaking up, you just starting, have you been in a situationship? Would you allow yourself to be there for comfort, or are you just straight black and white? Hey, TT Jamie. Like I said, gray areas, I don't mind them, but not for long term.
Yeah.
I like to be in a gray area when I'm figuring out if I want to be with this person, but I would definitely say not long term. How you doing, TT? Shh, you better hush. You better hush in here. You been in a situationship?
She said, Lord, yes. That sounds like it got a whole story behind it. That definitely sounds like it got a whole story behind it.
Right. Tell us more. Tell us
how long did it last?
Yeah.
Why was it only a situationship?
Yo, my goodness.
We need to know.
And I would definitely say the millennial generation and the Generation X generation, there's somewhat of... We're similar from when, like, our parents... Like, what generation is before that? Is that baby boomers?
Don't let me get the line.
I forget, but, like, the people that's kind of like my mama's age, like 50s or 60s, like, they was in situationships, too. Like, I can remember, you know, our grandmas or whatever, like, they husbands would go out and they said, oh, he just being a man. Let him be a man. And they would allow situationships and gray areas to happen. And it was just something that was so common. But then you get the Generation X and the millennials, and it's like, no, we're not going to stand for that. However, there are some loopholes. I feel, I could be wrong, that you could be in a healthy gray area.
And I think the idea of marriage, I think a lot of that goes back to that, because some of us are so afraid of commitment now because you see so many broken marriages.
And you see so many married niggas in our inbox.
And back then it was like, okay, well, you knew they were doing it, but it was more so behind the scenes. It wasn't as blatant. So now people are more comfortable. Well, we ain't together, so I ain't gonna look stupid when so-and-so, X, Y, and Z, she pop up. And yeah.
That's true. Besides, and it wasn't social media back then. And the mistresses kind of like knew their place. They knew their role. Yeah. Like, you know, these bitches now, they be happy to blast the dude.
Okay. Screenshot queens out here. Ooh, okay.
Jamie said a whole story. Evelyn said situationships are exhausting. She got tired of the roller coaster. Me too, honey. Dwight said, I've been in a situationship for 2 years and it got old quick. 2 years is not quick, fam. That's not quick. She said she couldn't type all of that. Ooh, Lord.
I'm gonna have to bring you on.
Yes. She said, oh, baby, if a nigga in a relationship, screenshot boom.
With the clap. Y'all ain't see that. The clap.
So, what is the lesson that we learned here today? Are situationships or the gray area beneficial? Are they hindering? So what is the lesson here? What should I take from this? Because I asked y'all about this. What lesson should I take away? Oh, Dwight said he was on again, off again in a situationship. Okay, so what made it get old? So why did you want to get off the roller coaster ride?
Who cut the roller coaster ride short?
Right. Was y'all stuck lingering at the top? Was y'all upside down? Like, what was it? I don't know. What did we learn today, Courtney? Because we just, we both knew the dating.
Yeah, definitely.
What did we learn today? I don't know.
To be assertive, I think. It was reiterated. I needed to hear that. Be more assertive.
Yeah.
Say exactly what you want, say what you mean.
I'm still confused. Because it's like, I don't know if I should ignore the red flags. But then Trina said we only been talking 3 months, so I can't really... Stop, boy. So I can't really be that mad.
Can I do this one, Mommy?
Okay. I'm blind. What she said?
She said... Let's see. This is Trina's last one. I got tired of the back and forth.
Oh, Evelyn said that. I did too with this. So I eventually, after 3 years, I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I got tired of acting like I ain't like this person. I got tired of a motherfucker throwing it in my face that I wasn't their girlfriend. Like, I got tired of all of that.
Put my finger.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I think things do grow old.
We did after 3 years. So I'm like, I don't know. I think it's important for y'all to understand a little bit more about gray areas. Go to therapy. I'm just gonna say that on every episode.
Plug it.
Go to therapy. And if you want to know what a therapy session is like, go click back 2 episodes and listen to therapy, because it's like a lot of that baggage, and if you need help finding the courage to get out of a situationship, go to therapy and build up the courage. Now, I am still working on being assertive. I can say what I want and I can say what I mean, but I still be kind of like scared to do it. So Dwight said not knowing what she wanted, and it was a lot of back and forth and inconsistent conversation. Yeah. And a lot of us don't know what the hell we want. Honestly, I thought I knew what I wanted, but I'm like, as I'm inching closer and closer to 30, it's always changing. It's changing. Definitely, like, I'm getting more specific now with what I want and what I'm not gonna go for. And yes, TT Jamie, there are levels to situationships. I was in like a committed situationship too. Like,
and then I think it goes back to, have you ever heard like about the millennials of we don't work hard enough for it, or we give up too easy?
I know I do.
I was there. I used to be like, I used to quit everything. Like, what?
I did too.
So I think that plays a part of it too.
Somebody told me too, like, you looking for perfection. I'm like, no, I'm just looking for a motherfucker not to lie about petty shit. Like, come on.
Especially if you were super open in the beginning. Reciprocate what I'm giving to you.
Exactly. Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna use that. Evelyn said it takes time to be patient with yourself. I definitely agree. So I would say, and I used to get so mad when I was like 22, 23, and people were like, girl, you don't know what you want. And I'm like, yes, the fuck I do. But I'm like, I really didn't. Like, it took me some time, and I had to go through some things to really figure out, that this is what I want. This is not what I'm finna stand for. So yeah, I'm new to this dating thing. So a lot of you may, I don't care if you judge me or not. A lot of you may be like, well, how you not dating? How you not being assertive? This is brand new for me. I've been single for 4 years. I've never, ever really taken a chance to date or get to know someone. So we're at the 3-month mark and hit a snag, and we're in a gray area, and I'm not sure if I just want to get out or if I just want to continue. Oh no. Monica, I think to get out of these situations is to have great friendship and open conversation. I generally feel you have to be best friends with your lover. See, I don't know about that one.
I agree.
Do you?
Yeah, I agree. Because there was a point where in the situationship gray area when I was at, he actually wanted to talk to his dad about me. And it was so weird.
Aww.
Like, man, we only in the situation. I was being the man at the time. We only in the situation. What you talking to your daddy about us for? And his dad and his mom have been married for years. And his dad was like, y'all always arguing because y'all forgetting the basis of y'all friendship. Y'all not being friends no more. Y'all so overwhelmed with everything else that's going on. What she doing. This conversation, that. He was like, y'all not being friends no more. Mm-hmm. When I really sat down and took the time to think about it, we weren't. So once we both reevaluated what we both were doing wrong, what we were doing right, coming back to friends and like just having each other's back, things got so much better.
How do you be friends with a man though? You know what I mean? Like how?
I don't know.
I've never tried to be friends with him. I mean, unless they was like platonic friends. Like, how do you? I
think it just came kind of naturally for me, at least.
So, like, do you tell them everything? Or?
I do.
Really?
I do.
No. Because I'm like...
He probably don't listen to half of it. But.
I can't gossip with no man like I can with my girlfriend. You know what I'm...
But I think I say, like, the TT for my girls, but as far as, like, goals, values, what I'm doing, like... My best friend and like pushing me forward in what I need to do.
Because when I think of best friend, I'm a bitch. Right. Guess what?
Jamie says sometimes it's a matter of separating what we want and what we need.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because we definitely need consistency. We definitely need communication.
Yes. Monica said you have to like this person, not just physically, but it's a deeper connection.
Yeah, I find that to be super easy with an ugly person. Like with an unattractive person.
I've had that happen before.
For real, because it's like, you know, because I used to be just so in to like looks.
A type.
Yes, I definitely had a type. Definitely had a type. And when I started looking past that, not saying that the dudes that I talked to be ugly, but I'm like, they, you know, they were different. Hey, Khadijah. So we talking about gray areas. Khadijah, have you ever been in a gray area? Yeah, when I started looking, so I was in a gray area with a type, because I only wanted one type. I wanted them to be, oh my God, like kind of thicker, dreads.
Really?
Yes. Oof, like a Wale type dude, but we don't got those here in Milwaukee. But I wanted oh my God, my son passed gas and you stank, and now he sleep. But like, I wanted them to, I was being so unfair, because I wanted a Wale type dude, and I wanted them to be communicating, understanding, trust, like all of these things. But the fine dudes is the one that treat you the worst, because it's like they don't gotta,
or they no substance.
No, there was definitely no substance. So I had to step outside of that.
Yeah.
And start looking past looks. Like, I ain't gonna date nobody that's butt ugly, but I'm like, okay, you know, they got what I need.
And that's one thing I always ask people. I had this conversation with my girls. We were talking about like looks and types and dudes, and I'm like, I gotta be at least somewhat attracted to you. Mm-hmm. Like, people always say you don't necessarily have to go for that, but I have to be somewhat. I don't care if I'm attracted to, oh, he got the nicest ears or something. I have to be somewhat physical. We're talking about whether or not that was shallow. That was one of our conversations. Yep. Like, is it shallow or not? I can't not just be able to look at you like, I gotta find something attractive. And there was matter of fact, there was a Tiffany Haddish interview, and she was talking about how as long as you find me, that's all I care about. And I finally got to that space where if he find me, I'm cool. Like, he can be ugly to all my friends, but he fine to me. Like, I've learned to date for myself and not for my friends. I think true. You mentioned that earlier.
Yep.
Like, when your friends are, I wouldn't do that. Well, you ain't in this situation.
Like, you don't gotta
give me that advice, but you not a couple with us.
Yes, TT, you gotta come sit on the couch for the next session, definitely. And there's so much to be said. And speak from experience. That's what we need. I definitely need that. A lot of the people that listen to the podcast are 25 to 34. So it'll definitely be great to have some experienced women on the show talking about experiences. Monica said, I dated a guy I wasn't attracted to, and it didn't work for me.
Yeah, I gotta be attracted to something.
Was he ugly, Monica? And yes, Evelyn, them thick men be the best. I can't date no skinny dude. The last man I dated was my son's dad, and my son is skinny as hell. And I'm like, damn.
Give me a definition of thick. Give me a celebrity that's somewhat thick, so I can think of this type. Because I don't like them skinny.
Oh my God,
they look breakable.
I don't think no celebrity is thick and cute.
They don't have to be cute. We just talking body size.
Oh my God. Hey, Kiari. She said he was ugly. Ooh. I can't think of it.
Did he have a pretty heart?
Right. Like, did he have a blessed heart?
Ones. They just, And you be
like a football player build.
Okay.
Yeah, a football player build. Like thick. Like, you know, not like
healthy thick.
Yeah, not like belly out here, but like, not Rick Ross thick. Even like weight loss Ross. No, like,
Healthy thick.
Yep, healthy thick. Like,
she said he's a great man. He was a great man, but he was so insecure.
Because he was ugly.
Yeah.
He was
People probably ran from him all the time.
Because he knew you was fine and you could get any dude you wanted. He was ugly. I will, TT. I record every Friday. She said, like those, what's that?
Ex-high school football players who got some weight on them now.
Yes. I love me a thick man.
Jeremy said, but he was blessed, LOL. I tried to bite the bullet.
You can't, if he ugly, he ugly. He said, don't nobody want a bone but a dog. Yes, I can, but the only dude I would give an exception to is Snoop Dogg.
Really?
Ooh, yes. Oh my God, I love
Uncle
me some Snoop Dogg.
Huh?
Uncle Snoop could get it.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, he could get, that's the only skinny dude I would like let get it.
Uncle Snoop. That's so random, I feel like.
Yes, so now we we at the end of our recorded segment, but we're going to stay on the live. So, you know, it's my favorite segment.
Yes.
It's the Talk Your Shit segment. Yes. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Talk your shit.
We should go first this time.
Okay.
I need to get mine.
So, my talk my shit for this week is, ladies, we have to, what I learned is that we have to stop being shallow. I was very shallow and stop looking at what a man could do for us right away. So we do want a man to be able to, you know, care for us, provide for us. However, when you just meeting him, stop projecting your large and extreme expectations on him right away. Okay? So I've learned that you ladies, we have to stop doing that. It's okay to go into something new with a clear head on the straight head on your shoulders, a clear mind, and it's like, I want this, and this. But stand back and be observant. Be very observant. Watch how he or she, if you date women, watch how they are in different situations. Are they consistent? How are they, how are they making you feel? What type of food do they like to eat? Are they angry when they're hungry? Like, observe everything.
Everything.
That's one of the things that I definitely learned is be observant when you're trying to get to know someone and date someone. And it is okay to take your time, and you can definitely lay your expectations out once you know you like the person. So that's my talk, my shit. It's definitely more on the serious side this week. So that's me. You ready?
Yes.
Talk your shit. All right.
Mine was a self-check from previous this week. I had to check myself.
Oh, you checking yourself?
Yes, I had to. I had to realize that every dude who say hi at the gas station don't want me. And I used to be so like, hey, Miss Lady, nope. I was like so rude and just like, dude, everybody don't want you. And I literally got in my car when my gas was pumping this week in the cold and was like, he was just saying hi, like being a gentleman, and you was already on some, I ain't giving him my number, I'm gonna give him the fake work number, he can call my Google Voice, like, and he didn't even ask for the number, but I'm so used to like going there, or my mind going there, or being out at a bar somewhere, and it's like, oh, hey, how you doing? I'm like, nope, ain't doing him.
Can you blame us though? It'd be like, I can't blame you for that. That's some shit to talk.
And I think I checked myself also because in my situationship, my guy used to tell me, he was like, you so friendly. But I'm friendly by nature. Like, I get along with people. I'm not confrontational. But I had to kind of check myself on that because with guys, they would think like, oh, and he'd be like, if I'm a man, if I feel like I can get you easily, it's not if I can. I used to be like, well, they can't though. Yeah. And he like, no, it's the fact that they think they can. He like, I don't want no woman who, so I had to check myself. So every nigga at the gas station who say hello don't want you.
They don't want you, sis. Like, they saying hi. Well, listeners, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Speak Your Truth Podcast. Make sure you stay connected with me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I am Alicia. You can also submit podcast topics. That goes for you too on the live. You can inbox me podcast topics and I will gladly do them. This one was already in the works, but Renia suggested this one this week. So definitely stay connected with me. I love you guys. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for listening. And until next time, speak your truth and talk your shit. I'm going to add that. Talk your shit and speak your truth.